everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's on the Tube, or welcome back. If this is your second, I almost said my hero, that's on my brain. The Rookie Season 5 episode review. It's a great time to be alive. It's a great day. We had a great launch week last week with the show. Thank you so much for tuning in for our premiere review. Hopefully we'll keep that energy going throughout the entire season run. We had our Rookie Fez premiere review also come out last week. We're about to start up our Walker, both Walker and Walker Independence reviews later this week. Also, Star goes back. So this is the week where the full 5 episodes for What's on the Tube is going to begin. We're going to be uploading a ton of content going into like the holidays. I have a lot because also this week I have Comic-Con, so I'm like, and I got to do work for the other channel. This is a big week. This is a very big week for me, but I'm excited. I'm always up for the new challenge. I'm always up for a new thing. And today, now we're getting into the throes of the season. This still felt like more like a kind of premiere-ish a little bit, considering the fact there was a lot of plot that we didn't get to tackle on in the season 5 premiere because there was already all hands were on the Chenford thing, and then also Rosalind's return that not everything was handled a lot on the season. It still felt like a traditional like follow-up episode to like, okay, now we're getting into the grooves of what this season's gonna be. And so far, it's already giving us a great picture of what season 5 in total is gonna be. And I repeated this. I said this last week. I'm gonna repeat it again. Is that for me, rewatching season 1 before going into this season helped a lot because it just feels like this season's just paying off a lot of things from the first season. And that, again, that was totally unintentional on my part. I just felt like it was time to finally just finish off the Rookie season 1 and just kind of, get that on our channel and get that, as a coverage of like, we did all 4 seasons up to that point in some form of coverage. Now going into this season, I was not expecting how much, of the so far of honoring how much we've gone through so far with our characters, with our cast, and what we're hopefully going to go to in the future. But as well as just paying off all those relationships and, not a full payoff, but more like honoring of how far we've come and hopefully how much further we're going to get to go. But with this episode, I thought it was great. I don't think it quite matched last week, and it was kind of hard to reach up to last week. But this felt like a really, it was a very natural follow-up. This wasn't trying to, be very serialized. It was just finishing up other things that we left hanging from season 4 and just kind of, just giving like some new dynamic, giving us a little twist of new spins that what this season's going to have to offer. And I, for one, think that's a great avenue to take it. And I can't wait to see what next week's going to bring, of course, obviously. But with this episode, I really enjoyed it a lot and I thought it was great. But let's get to it. Let's go through the Butcher recap and talk about this week's episode of The Rookie. So we begin with immediately off the bat, picking up from last week. This is my only criticism of the episode, and also as much respect as I've had lately for the social media team over at The Rookie and The Rookie Feds for such great synergy. Like, you have The Rookie back on national TV in terms of interviews with the cast, as well as of course a very similar marketing strategy for The Rookie Feds, seeing Niecy Nash's face everywhere. Now after the premieres are over, and I still appreciate the social media games going very strong this year, the one thing is that they kind of spoiled, not just from the sad mentions that I've seen from other Twitter accounts, but also the fact the social media team literally said, yeah, Chen's boyfriend, I forgot his name already, I apologize. Yeah, so, Chris, he was alive. Like, that entire cliffhanger for last episode, which really left me gobsmacked, kind of fell away, and that's kind of some of my issues when it comes to that was traditional Rookie finale to premiere where it was kind of predictable. It didn't seem like they were wanting to take that shot. I would have really been shocked if this episode began with yeah, Chris is dead, and that immediately sent back Bradford and Chen back a ways because obviously you have the guild and you have they nearly hooked up and he was kind of there. Whether or not he actually heard any of anything is certainly still up in the air. I don't think he does, considering a scene later in the episode, there's absolutely no way they would cross that point. But, you never really know with the show. You never really know. So I was a little bit taken aback, especially when we start this episode, we're no, Chris is alive. He has bandages all over his arms. It's been a few weeks, so it's he's back to normal. And I'm just Okay, look. Chris is a chill dude. I know some Extreme Chen for fans gonna be like, "Damn, this was their one chance. Like, here's the easy in." And I'm like, "Bro, you don't have to kill a whole character off just for a romantic relationship to have. Like, chill the hell out. Like, seriously, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it's for a good reason. It really is. You know, at the end of the day, I said this before with the Rookie and as well as all the other shows we cover here is that the writers know better. They'll know what the right direction is, and we're allowed to criticize. And at the end of the day, they're writers for a reason. They know how to keep us engaged, and so far they are keeping me engaged. So Chen's gonna watch over Chris for a while. She's on leave, right? A little bit of a leave right now, or at least a day off. So she's gonna spend some time with Chris and make sure that he's taken care of, and then he's not overusing his arms so much. And it also seemed like, okay, it's kind of weird because, like, yeah, there's still some of the untapped feeling of, like, well, Chen nearly hooked up. Like, no matter how much you can state it, there was an intention that Chen and Bradford could have hooked up last episode, and it didn't. And that hasn't really been addressed yet between her and Chris and her and Bradford. So it just seems to be like, it's still on her mind a little bit. And I guess that's why she's trying to play nurse a lot because, not just being a good girlfriend, but also just like the guilt. It's like, I nearly cheated on my boyfriend while he was like on death's doorstep. And I kind of owe this to him. And Chris is, of course, obviously trying to be like, I got this. You don't really need to worry about me too much. But, a chill day spending at home with your girlfriend, just binging a bunch of bad TV. What more can a boyfriend ask for? But immediately after that, Chen gets a knock on the door. I thought like, oh, we're already going to get into this early, but it's not. It's a recruiter from the undercover school, because apparently that's a thing. I'm pretty sure that's a thing. I don't know why I'm saying that. Like, that's a convenient thing where, because of Chen's actions and her experience from season 3, which again, that was one of my criticisms in season 4, was that they just completely forgot that, yeah, Chen did undercover stuff and there was a potential like sub-career avenue for her to take that option, but we didn't get to explore that. I thought like, okay, they just completely forgot about this storyline and we were just going to move on to like, other stuff, which again, I wasn't going to hate it on, but like, he had put all this attention on her and then you just kind of like dip with it. It was kind of weird in my opinion, but no, it's back and they want her on the program. They want her on the class. It starts next Monday. There's a slot open up, and given Chen's already prior experience with undercover operations and successful ones, then she would be a perfect fit. But Chen wants to like stay at the LAPD for now. She wants to help take care of Chris, and now is not the right time. Obviously, the door's still open for her to come back, but it's a very limited window. Chris advises her like, you should take this position. This is a great career advancement for you to like move up in your field. And she's like, no, it's just not the right time right now. It really is not. And he tries to talk her out of it, but she's like, no, just trust me on this. Let's just enjoy the day. Let's just enjoy this day. And he's like, fine. We'll do that. Who else is enjoying the day is our very own John Nolan, who has passed his his TO exam with 98, which I'm like, damn. Like, I don't know, Nolan's a smart egg, but I'm like, damn, 98, damn. I don't think I've gotten a 98 on anything in like, when I was back in college, like for a long time. Like I got A's, but like not 98. Like, damn, that's really impressive. So he got it. So like, it's a great achievement, and it's gonna be, obviously Nolan still has one more thing to do. He has to pass certification, make sure he is worthy to be a training officer. Even though he just passed the exam, he has to be mentally examined. He has to be examined personally by someone to make sure that he is certified to be one. And then after that, he'll be a official training officer. And he's excited. They're excited. And this is exactly one of the moments I mentioned at the start where like it's paying off. It's acknowledging stuff from the past now in this point in the timeline where he's like, we've come a long way, and Gray's like, yeah, we have come a long way. It's been a very interesting, I want to say 2 years for them. Like, yeah, 2 years for them because, the first 3 seasons were like kind of 1 year. Season 4 was its own year. So 2 years going to 3 years. Like, it's been a very long 2 years for them. But, they've really developed. Like, again, going back from episode 1 where like Gray immediately wanted to get Nolan kicked off the program from day 1. And now Nolan's here about to be a TO of his own. And Gray has nothing but praise for him. Like, yeah, they've both come a long way. And, and Nolan's like, you know what? Maybe it's time. I start calling you Wade. And immediately Gray snaps back to us like, get off of my chair. Get out of my office. It's Commander Gray. And close the door. And he still gives a smile. Like, he knows he likes Nolan, but he can never truly give him the final satisfaction of like having him call Wade. I feel like that's like a series finale moment where like he finally lets Nolan call him Wade. It's not there yet. It's not there yet. But you know, they're definitely on the right track of like, you know, they're close now. They're getting close. Oh yeah, before that began, Gray gives him a temporary assignment to finish off Aaron's training, the new rook, because I've been calling him for most of season 4 and last week. His training, because obviously Nyla's on leave and they don't really have any other TOs right now because Bradford doesn't want to do any more TO work. It's also kind of odd because like they used to have 3 TOs in their station and now they're about to get 1 again, and I'm like, it's kind of convenient that they don't. And I understand like Lopez and Nyla are now back up into to detective duty, and Bradford's kind of just doing more like mainline sergeant work. And I do understand. I do get like the fact that they don't want to do the same thing again. And you know, it's like kind of like you don't really want to be formulaic with this show specifically, because the whole thing about this show not being a traditional procedural is like you're not trying to be that formulaic. You're trying to break the mold and do something different every time around. That's why we haven't got much of Aaron's training on camera, or at least that we've seen, because we've seen this before for 3 seasons with Nolan, Weston, and Chen. So we didn't really have to see that again. Maybe in season 19, if the rookie somehow makes it there, like what Grays is doing. I mean, I don't even want to talk about Grays. That's later this week for me for my own personal thoughts. But anywho, so he's in charge of finishing off Aaron's training, kind of like just a preliminary, you know, like unofficial, finishing off. And Nolan welcomes the challenge. He's a little bit concerned because like he hasn't have the position yet. But Wes is like, you know what? Not my grades, like, you know, it's on me. Don't worry. You're totally fine to do this. So they get booted up, and immediately, like, Thorson just gives up this very funny energy. This like modern me era, like me, like specifically me, where like he wants to do a TikTok dance to warm up, and no one's like, yeah, don't be too much of yourself. And he's already like the TO elements are starting to come out. No, like I love this. Like this is again a great natural development for the character. Like I love it so much. So they're about to head out. I want to say what else is going on. Yeah, so Nyla and I want to say James is his name. I want to say again. I'm trying to do better with names this year. I'm trying my best. If it's not James, I apologize. I'll clarify that whenever we see him again. They moved into a new house, obviously, because they're about to have the kid, and of course Nyla's going to have her daughter visiting at times, and James with his son. So it was customary for them to get a bigger house for them to like actually start to build a family together, like this new conjoined family. This was very necessary. And she also wants to do a home birth, considering her trauma with the hospital the last time she had her kid, or her last kid. She doesn't want to do it again, so home birth seems to be the only option for her right now, so they need the bigger space to allow this. So they're getting acquainted there. They're having fun. It's also fun to just see these self-in-house Lamaze classes. It's entertaining to me, and also I'm like, okay, I really hope my future wife doesn't want to do home births, because like I'm gonna have my pop walls ever. I'm already thinking way too far ahead. Let me backtrack a little bit. So they're getting things ready, because also now it's like really on the cusp of giving birth any day now. And my one criticism, like this is like a minor critique, is that so the reason why Nala's Harper got pregnant last season was because the actress actually did get pregnant in real life, so they wrote that into the show. Sometimes like they'll do that because it would be easier to just explain they're pregnant so that they can still work with the baby bump, where if they decide they don't want to do that, they'll just like find convenient ways to like shoot around it so they don't do it. So I guess they had no choice but to do it in this case. But obviously it's been some time. She's the actress has already given birth to her child, so the baby bump is gone, so it's not realistic anymore. And no offense, like I never had the experience of seeing a kid. The last time I saw a pregnant belly close to me was about 2014, 2015, so it's been a while. I don't remember it being that big. It looks a little bit too unproportionally big in my opinion, but I'm being very critique on the prop department, so I apologize. I'm just like saying like that's a little bit too big of a belly, but regardless of that, I'm moving on. But before they can enjoy the final days of, you know, this livelihood before they become official parents between themselves, they hear some very loud music across the street. James heads over there to try and calm them down. The owners like really like that traditional, like, I don't care, it's my house. I don't want to lower down my volume. Like, I don't give a shit about your pregnant wife or anything. Harper immediately shows up with no care in the world, flashes her badge and like, you know, you better lower that volume, honey. And he's like, fine. But like immediately he's like, I want to kill you. Like, you ruined my jive. I'm like, trying to get cops on me. Trying to get the cops on me. Try not. Smart move, bro. Smart move. For now at least. Nolan and Aaron are out on the streets. They answer a call of a nearby house. I forgot what the reason was, but they're there. Thorson notices some smoke coming out of the garage. They open the door. They find out that the car's been left on. There's a guy in there. He's dead, and they find his badge and a kind of weird suicide note next to him, and they just assume the worst, so they call it in. It just seems way too. Eventually, between what they're at and then what they find in the coroner's office, the mortician, is that this is not a suicide. This was definitely a staged murder. Like someone held him down, killed him, and then they tried to fake this murder. Also, already Nolan already getting notes so far. Traditional Nolan for early praise so far. No criticism yet of his TL style, where he's just letting Aaron just learn from others. Just like making sure they're treated as equals, like somewhat. Definitely between all the other. He kind of is more akin to Lopez's training style, where she's not super strict, but we haven't had a strict moment between them yet, because I guess I never seen Nolan be strict. I never have. And maybe that's just because of his character, and I'm not sure if that's going to be a weakness for him down the road. We'll see how, when he actually does start, officially training someone, on a full training period basis goes, but so regardless of that, Lopez already giving him, praise, yeah, that's a good direction you're doing. That's a really good direction. And also the guy is an officer for the sheriff's office. So, that's the only real connection they have there. So they're trying to figure out, trying to weed out what the hell is actually going on with this thing. I want to say the next plot point we get into is, so also Wesley's about to start his new job at the DA's office. And they're merely hiring him because they just have a system where they got to follow it's like a quota system, have a lot of plea deals on hand and then have some go to trial because they don't want to overwork themselves. So it kind of seems like for them it seems like an easy job where you pick and choose which plea deals you want to pursue, and then pick the really juicy one that's going to give them some credibility. It's kind of shady a little bit, and of course Wesley's only really there to kind of change the system and kind of explore hey, we could do this better, we could do that better. And I understand that completely, but then Wesley, after he gets checked up on later, he's like, I got nothing. All these cases seem to actually be pursued a full run. Nothing is plea deal. Nothing is the guarantee shot fire, nothing. And he's like, nah, man, you gotta change that style right now, because we have our own ways. You got to conform to our ways, which is exactly why Wesley didn't want to join the office, but now he kind of has to because he wants to make that change. Sorry, it's just there's so many plot lines this episode. I'm trying to think. I know Lucy's kind of on the back burner this week. We don't really get to see too much of her today. So back at the house, Harper and James are doing a little bit of a dance, a weird Lamaze dance. I don't even know what to call it. They hear very loud gunshots outside the window, and they immediately call the cops. Smithy, continuing his run. 3 appearances in the last 3 episodes. The 2 rookies and the 1 feds. Smithy is on a roll. That's great. That's really awesome to see. He just writes it off at they were watching Dirty Harry, and they have very advanced sound speakers. So it kind of seems why you would assume it was a real gunshot. But then again, Dirty Harry was a movie made back in a long time ago. They don't have modern guns. So Smithy, you're an idiot. But you know what? We love you so much. We're going to give you a pass again. We'll always give you a pass. So meanwhile, everyone else is searching up more about they're searching out more about the case itself. They're trying to figure out something about it because they know that he was wearing a wiretap, so he was doing some sort of undercover stint. Bradford goes to check in on his fellow partners over at the office at the station house, and they're kind of a little suspicious. They're definitely not in a mourning type of state. They're definitely more along the lines of kind of feeling guilty, but they're not kind of guilty. It's kind of weird, jive they're trying to bring up, but it's kind of hard. So Bradford goes back to them and says they're definitely hiding something. So we need to make sure that they're in connection with something before we can accuse them of anything else. Lopez brings up to Nolan that Harper used to have a connection, a CI for them, and that could be and the way she delivers the fact that, oh, you should call Harper because she likes you the best. And I'm just there's absolutely no way. As much as close as Harper and Nolan have gotten, there's absolutely no way Harper would ever admit Nolan's my favorite cop in the LAPD. And the way she responds to his call, it's it's perfect. It's God, I miss them. I miss their dynamic. I miss their energy. I can't wait to have them have a scene together again. I can't wait. So yeah, they get the information of the CI. They call him in. He's a little bit against being here because, like, you know, hey, I'm moving the big league. I'm with the feds now. And I'm like, okay, this is the second week of the row. Like, we made a clear, direct shot to feds, not the show fed, just the general fed. But it's most likely our feds that we know and love. And I get that. Like, you know, when you have this universe, like, it's common to, like, you know, mention the other thing. Again, like, we're still in that early Arrowverse, like, you know, actual Arrowverse style where, like, yeah, you're gonna get a lot of jokes, you're gonna get a lot of references to other shows. I understand that. I really do understand that. But it's just a matter of, okay, we kind of get it. We don't really need to hear it. But yeah, so they use Harper's name as like kind of like a bribe to like give them the information for free. And like, yeah, those people that Bradford were pointing out are most likely involved in like they take the drugs from the supposed bus and they sell it off for their own. So there's got to be a paper trail somewhere, but they're not finding it at all. Apparently, they're very, very diligent not to spend the money. So if there's no physical paper trail, there's nothing else. The only thing they need is a confession, which is most likely why they send that officer to go in. And when he was made, they killed him. But the thing is that they need some sort of audio confession, which pretty much does exist, but they don't know where it is. So I think eventually, I know Bradford and Lopez go to check out back at the crime scene, see if they can find anything else. When they go back to the crime scene, they find two of the officers there as well. They're claiming that, hey, we want to be part of the investigation because we don't trust y'all. You know, this is our people. Like, we're gonna take care of this shit. Bradford immediately, like, you know, regardless of our, you know, relation, you're not supposed to be here. So legally, you're breaking and entering, so we can search you. They refuse it first, calm down the situation. They get them. It turns out that yes, there was a they tampered with something, they took something away, but they managed to get the information. But their third guy isn't there, and they also find out that the confessional track is in a lockbox somewhere in a mailing office somewhere. So they send Nolan and Thorson to go check that out. They get there. Nolan engages in a firefight with him, who's trying to hold the clerk hostage to get the audio files. Nolan easily beats him. Like, again, it just shows of how far Nolan has come, where he used to be like, obviously, again, when you're first starting any job, you're gonna be like a rookie. You're gonna be like, you don't know what the fuck you're doing, and you're trying to figure this out as you go. Just seeing Nolan just being proficient, and this was mostly a solo op. No offense to Aaron, like they had a funny way to keep him out of it, but mostly it was just Nolan. Like, Nolan handled this shit down. He got him down. It was over. Case is semi-closed. Somewhat. My mouth is off. Damn, teen got cold. Or was I? Yeah. So they handle that. They take them back to the station, and I want to say it's kind of like a weird resolution, because like once they had like the guy that was holding the clerk hostage, he was just like worried that like something might happen to him, because another connected third party that was involved in this that would have been a good witness, a good testimony for them, got shanked that same day. So it's all very coincidental that happened. So, but Lopez was just promising him that, like, don't worry, you'll be fine, you'll be safe, don't worry about it. I want to say we got something else, but like I'm pretty sure, like, no, I think most of our attention's back over with the Harper front. So Harper's just playing like, you know, I'm aboard, you know, mother in labor. I'm gonna go watch the guys across the street, you know, if anything does happen. And she does. Like, she literally sees these two taking out a dead body in the front yard into the car. I'm just like, bro, you two, first of all, Smithy being an idiot for, how do you have a cause to motive to search the house? I don't think Smithy actually did search the house, in my opinion, but regardless of that, like, how do you just transport a carpet roll up in a body-shaped lane across the front yard? And again, it's the middle of the day, people are working, I get that, but like, come on, like, you at least park the car in the back. At least, it's like, come on, like, you know, brah, don't be stupid or anything. Harper goes in, clearly in the midst of, like, this baby's about to pop out of her at any moment. But she goes in, she visually confirms that, yeah, there's a dead body here. They're about to burn this body. But she has to escape pretty quickly because the guys are about to go make her. So he goes outside. So they go outside. They're about to find Nyla, who's hiding behind their bush. Again, Nyla could have easily went behind the car if she just like played it a little bit smoothly. Like it was just too fast the transition, and I guess the baby belly is kind of holding her back a little bit. But like I'm pretty sure she would have made that behind car a little bit better. But again, trying to add suspense at all. She's about to get made. Aaron runs out in his green towel, clearly fresh from a shower. And I gotta respect. First of all, I gotta respect James. Got a nice dad body going. You're already trying to get the dad life going. He's a lucky man. He manages to diffuse the situation by trying to say like, oh, I'm looking for my cat, so trying to like give Nyla some time to escape. She does. I forgot Lila, like her daughter's name is Nyla. Lila, my bad. So she regroups back in the house. She's telling James, like, look, there's a body. We need to report this to the police. They're about to go burn it. We need to go get this arranged right now. And also my water broke. And just like, okay, whoa, forget the dead body. You're about to give birth to our body, our baby. Like, that's going to be first on the list. So they head upstairs, getting Harper ready for the birth. Everything seems to be going well, but their new security system kicks in, saying that the window got open. Honestly, that kind of reminds me of another story, but I don't want to really like that. That's a little bit too late of a story, so I'll save that for another time. But so James goes in on them to check, goes downstairs to check to make sure everything's all right. He's exploring everything, but one of the dudes tackles him, and they engage in like a brief fight. The other dude, the one who actually committed the murder, is gonna basically kill Nyla. And I'm just like, dude, I don't care. Like, you don't mess with a woman who is pregnant. You don't. I don't care. Just no. I would literally slap the shit out of this person. He's upstairs. He's looking for Nyla. And Nyla, of course, in the midst of giving birth to this baby, like she is like, first she's like in full Terminator mode, and then she literally is about to give birth at any minute. I don't even know how she got it. At first I was like, how the hell did she get out of the birthing tub without making a noise? So what was I gonna say? Yeah, so the guy looks around the room. He thinks she's in the closet, like, the cliche move, like hide in the closet. She's not there, and I swear to God, Nyla, in the second episode of this season, has delivered the best moment of the season. And we're only in the second episode. It's on my bro. You're like firing all cylinders. You're like, save something for the mid-season finale. Save something for the second half, bro. Like, cause like, you see Lila in the freaking bathing tub, submerged, and then the way the camera pans out, I don't know what movie that was supposed to be a reference to. I don't know. I'm gonna ask George this later. She comes out in full badass mode with her gun, and she's like, I'm about to give birth. You're about to kill me, and if you twitch, I'm gonna kill you. You die? Bitch, please. The scales of the universe are about to be bad. You did, and I'm gonna give birth. So we even. And I'm just like, bro, that's like the perfect analogy. Again, best moment of the season so far. I know we're 2 episodes in, but you gotta give a shout out to Lila. You gotta give that respect. Grace shows up in because Lila called him earlier just to like alert him that there was a dead body across her house. So he goes up to check. He saves James, who's in the middle of a chokehold with the baseball bat. James goes upstairs. They hear a gunshot. They fear for the worst. And again, perfect badass moment where like the guy is bleeding out. He's taken down, and there's Lila in the bed holding her baby. Which I'm like, damn, I got more respect for this woman. So everyone comes in. They arrest the two, and they're like, you know what, Lila, I know there's some after paperwork you should be doing, but you know what? You're on maternity leave right now, and you're like, you enjoy your maternity leave. You enjoy it. Like, you earned this. So that's a case closed. Also, I forgot, in the midst of all this, Bradford's sister rolled back into town. So they're there. The whole house remodeling's done. They're putting it on the market. Bradford and them think they can make $1 million. Not each, but like, for the full house. So like, which is great, get that payout, like, not to quit their jobs or anything, but like, just also like, just have that, going, as well as Bradford says, like, move on. Like, that's a chapter closed that we never have to go back to ever again, which is great. She was calling Bradford in and out throughout the episode, like, just to update him on the matter. And eventually they meet up back at the station parking lot, where she just expresses to her that yeah, I've been having some troubles with my marriage, so I said, fuck it, I'm gonna sell it to the highest offer. Fuck a family making memory. I'm about to be a single mom. I need all the money I can get to survive this divorce. And Bradford's like, you are Bradford. Like, this is mad respect for you. And she's like, I'm gonna move here to LA. I'm like, okay, well, you're going too far here, but you know what? It's brother sister love. It's brother sister love. Like, welcoming that into the family, as well. Nolan just apologizes to Aaron about his TO style was not traditional because, Nolan was like, focus being first as a cop rather than being a TO, like giving Aaron the opportunities and the lessons. But like, first of all, Lila did all the heavy lifting for Aaron already. And so this was just like two peers just like working with each other. Of course, Nolan's the superior here, but it's still the fact of like, well, he wasn't berating Aaron around. He wasn't. He was just letting, him naturally do his thing. And yeah, he's going to make mistakes, but like, it's like, just learn from your mistakes. And, that's a very underrated style. It goes back to that season 4 episode from last year where like, when Nolan was deciding what type of training officer he was going to be. And, Gray was like, you can make your own thing. Like, you can make your own path. You don't exactly have to follow the customary norms. And this is exactly what, is happening, which is great. I forgot. Yeah, Chen like made a random cameo with not a cameo, but like a random appearance with at Lila and James' house, what they were doing with the whole like speculation thing, and she was just like giving her advice, asking her for her feedback on the whole undercover school thing, and Lila wasn't really paying attention to that because she just needs some sort of validation. Like, I'm not hearing things, I'm not crazy. It's just I heard it. So it was a very fun, and again, it just showcases how much these two like. This is all family. They're all friends. And yeah, it's weird because, like, again, if it wasn't for them being cops, they probably would never had just, like, actually grown that natural friendship. But they did. And it's really, really nice. It's really, really sweet. And, it's great to see that. So we head over back to Chen's place. Her and Chris just finished binging something along the lines of whatever cooking show they are. I hope they were watching Hell's Kitchen. Bradford shows up at the door, and I'm just like, okay, all right, here we go, everyone. Like, take your seats. This is the main show you're all waiting for. He was there mostly just because of the undercover school thing, because Chris called him over earlier about it. She needs a little bit of a push to decide what she should really do, and Bradford just gives her an answer. They're like, yeah, you should take it. You should take that opportunity. It's a great opportunity for you for your career. And obviously they have to address, like, they nearly had sex. They nearly gave in to their inhibitions to do this. And honestly, this is the perfect Bradford way to, like, get him out of this situation for the moment where, like, yes, there is still the underlying, like, we need to talk about our feelings. We need to discuss this at some point. But as of right now, you have this opportunity to advance your career. This is a very rare opportunity for a school to want you. You should take it. And we'll figure out the rest there. And also, it's a good thing for you to, like, spread your wings, maybe take some time away. And also, it's a subtle way to say, take some time away from me, And the way she says, like, you don't want me to be your gopher anymore? And I'm just like, it's so sweet. Like, it's so... I don't even want to officially call this a romantic connection. I don't want to call it yet. I don't, because there's always still the X factor at play. There's still something else of it. They're still both in a relationship. There's still a lot of things they need to unpack. But for right now, Bradford's only wanting to, like, tell Chen, focus on your career, take this opportunity, go to the school, learn more, and come back, and then be a better cop, be a better, go down a different avenue. That's all he wants for her right now, and that's sincere. That's a really sincere sign. If a man is actually ever interested in a woman, like, focus on yourself first, focus on your career first, and if there is time for us, or we got to talk about us, we'll get to it afterwards. But first, take this opportunity, which is great. And I feel like by the subtle cue, like, yeah, Chen's going to take it now. But again, there's still a very big elephant in the room, but, we'll find out about it in due time. But yeah, so that was it for that episode. And again, as I got to point out, I thought this was a great episode, a great follow-up to last week. Definitely giving us some new directions, giving some new norms for the season on what we can explore, what can we expect. I think it's going to be great having to see Nolan officially going to be a TL by next week. Chen going up to undercover school. Like, finally, they're going to do something with that storyline. And, everything else now, being a new mom again, and just, having Lopez and Wesley working more often together, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think the season is going to be a lot of fun. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to be a fun season. Obviously, having their peers over at the Feds, like, I think this is going to be the best year of the rookie so far. Like, the rookie universe is going to be the best. So for me, I'm going to give this episode 2 thumbs up. I really enjoyed it as always. Let me know in the comments below your opinions on this week's episode. Let's start a conversation down below. But I believe that's going to do it for me today, everyone. So if you're unaware of this, has been What's the Two from ActionX, reviewing every episode in the 5th season of The Rookie. If you want to know what we're doing normally in What's the Two besides our Rookie episode reviews, currently we're doing the Rookie Feds episode reviews each and every week after brand episodes on ABC on Tuesday nights. We're also doing DC Stargirl Season 3 episode reviews each and every week after brand episodes on the CW every Wednesday night. We're also doing, starting this week, Walker episode reviews for Season 3 each and every week after brand episode on the CW every Thursday nights. And then our Walker Independence episode reviews every Saturdays after brand episode on Thursday nights on the CW. But if you only care about The Rookie, you're in luck. We'll be back next week with another brand new episode. I might be a little Comic-Con hangover, to be honest with you. I will be. I have a lot of stuff this week to do in terms of my work and this channel and my other channel. And for Comic-Con weekend, it's gonna be a lot for me to do. So if next week, if the energy, like I have been on a solid fire of energy these last 2 weeks. Like last week and this week, I've been on solid fire. So if that kind of dips a little bit next week, I apologize. Just be aware, I'm doing a lot, so be aware. But again, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to us on youtube.com/ActionXvideo. Ring that bell for notification when our next video is live. Like, favorite, share of this review if you want to, and as well as follow us on social media to stay up to date any sort of updates we may have for either of our channels. But until we see each other again next week, for all you members of the Rookie Nation, I'll see you all then. But until then, stay safe out there, be good to each other, and as always, peace out.